So this video is to be discussing the rough outline of where I'm going to be going. I have a prop with me. You might not be able to see it depending on the quality of the image and the lighting and stuff, but this was the best place I could set up, and I'm currently being cooked as it's a very warm day and it's always hot in a conservatory. So I'll probably try and make this as quick as possible so I don't die of dehydration, although I am going to have to get used to the heat because where I'm going there'll be plenty of it. So, where am I starting? I'm going to be flying out from Gatwick, near London in the UK, a week tomorrow. That's starting to feel pretty real. So I'm going to be flying to Dubai. I've got a very quick layover in Dubai, only 90 minutes, which thankfully both of my flights are with Air Emirates, so if there's a delay with the first one for whatever reason, then at least I know that they are obliged to make sure I get to my destination, compared to if the tickets were with two different airlines. So hopefully it will be enough time to get through security and all that sort of stuff and get ready for my next flight. I probably won't get a chance to eat, but such is life and I won't perish. So from Dubai I'm going to be flying another 7 hours to Kuala Lumpur. There we go. Kuala Lumpur, which is in Malaysia. I picked that, if I'm honest, because it was one of the cheapest places to fly into in Southeast Asia. I'm not going to be spending a huge amount of time in Kuala Lumpur, I don't think. I've heard it's really great for food, so that'll be good, and get the sort of jet lag shaken off of me, and I'm looking forward to going to the Batu Caves, but that's about it. From there I will be travelling up into Malaysia, so the Cameron Highlands, the various different islands, and then going down to spend some time in Borneo. Borneo has it's one of those islands that has many different countries, so I would have thought, because I'll have 90 days visa in Malaysia, that I'll probably stick to that side. From there I'm going to be going to Indonesia. Indonesia, you can have 30 or 60 days if you apply for an extension. I'm trying really hard not to go into any of these countries with preconceptions as to what experiences I'm going to have, what it's going to be like, whether I'm going to like it or not. But I'm finding that slightly challenging with Indonesia, because I've heard sort of mixed things about it, such as the Aussies treating it like the Brits do Benidorm, and the fact that places like Bali are really tourist heavy and kind of like a haven for digital nomads and things like that. So I think when I do get to Indonesia, it will be my mission to try and get away from the more populated places as quickly as possible. But from what I've heard, their public transport infrastructure isn't as good as other places in the region, such as, say, Thailand or Vietnam. So I haven't really got any plans for Indonesia yet, other than lots of snorkeling. I love marine life so much. As anyone who knows me will know, it's one of my special interests, and it's always been a dream of mine to be in and around the coral reefs of the Indonesian Ocean, so I'm really excited for that. So from Indonesia I will be going to Thailand for the first time, and then from Thailand I will be going to Nepal. Nepal, I'll be spending 3 months there, predominantly focusing on my Dharmic practice, so I'll be staying in monasteries and absorbing the huge Buddhist culture and influence there. I'm hoping to go to the site in North India where Siddhartha Gautama achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. But we'll have to see how we go with that, because I checked the site the other day and I happened to see that the weather at the moment on average is near 40°C during the day, and that sounds like a lot. So I'll have to see what it's like at the time of year that I'm planning on going, and see how it goes, because I have an upper limit of like how much heat I'm going to tolerate, and that's kind of really near it. So from Nepal I'll be going to Sri Lanka again. It's very different from Nepal in so many ways, countless ways, but it's a predominantly Buddhist country. From what I can see on Google, over 70% of the population are Buddhist, and so I'm really looking forward to being immersed in that and learning a lot. And then from Sri Lanka, I'm going back to Thailand. I'm going to spend some time in Thailand, as much as time as can be afforded. From there, Cambodia and Laos. I know very little about Laos. I only know about the recent controversy with the ethanol poisonings. I don't drink, and also that is such a tiny little snapshot of a country that is largely a mystery to me, and I plan to keep it that way. I plan to just kind of freewheel it and see what happens and how I get on, and I trust that it'll be a really, really great experience. And then I'm going to Vietnam, which is just alongside. From Vietnam I will be going north into China. China is, I mean, I'm excited to be going to loads of these places, and obviously I recognise the huge privilege that I've got that isn't afforded to many, that I was able to work, to save and prioritise my income to be able to afford what is going to be a long and expansive period of backpacking. China wasn't initially somewhere I was planning on going. I think I really bought into the British xenophobia of some really big misconceptions of China. So until I started actually researching it and realising that there's over 1 billion people there from all walks of life, that they have an infrastructure that is light years ahead of ours in the UK. They've got these amazing sort of cyberpunk futuristic cities, and then these really traditional, beautiful, old ancient towns like Dali and Lijiang and all these places that once I actually started looking at them, I was like, wow, you know, this is a place that I need to go. And now that I've taken those sort of blinkers off, it's one of the places that arguably I'm most excited to go to. It's so different from everything I know. I mean, all of it is. I've not been to Asia before. I've been to Canada. I've been to European countries, but I've not actually been somewhere that is so vastly different from everything that I know culturally. Language that is just completely unrecognisable to me because it's not got any of the sort of similar structure, and places where the languages are different everywhere, and I'm going to countries where there'll be different dialects within those languages, and there'll be countries where they speak multiple languages, and I haven't got a chance in hell of learning much more than just very basic stuff, which is always important for me to do. So I'll be brushing up on my very basics, phrases and questions and polite conversation for each country that I go to, hopefully. But it's not possible for me to learn a level of conversation that would make me feel less like an ignorant tourist. But at least we have our smartphones, and places like China, it's just so common now that, you know, you speak into your phone, it gets translated to Mandarin or Cantonese, what have you, and then it tells the person you're conversing to what you want to say, and then vice versa. And that's really, really common to be communicating in China, because a lot of Chinese don't speak English. I mean, why would they need to? So yeah, from China, and this will be many months. From China, I'm going to see where I'm at emotionally, mentally, spiritually, what have you. Whether I'm ready to come back to the UK for a visit to show everyone that I'm still alive and well and all these things, or whether I've still got a reasonably healthy budget and then I can consider my options. So from there, I would love to go to Japan, but I haven't prioritised Japan just because it is more expensive to be staying out there as a tourist. So if I prioritised a month in Japan, that could very easily be my budget for 3 months somewhere else. So we'll have to see on that, or potentially the Philippines. Amazing culture, amazing food, beautiful sights. So, and I'm also quite tempted to check out South Korea. I'm hearing some really positive things about people traveling there, and the food, Korean food is just, I mean, all of the food is going to be so good. I'm so excited. So yeah, we'll see how we go from there. It's starting to get really real now. I'm having to think about packing and everything that I need, and as it stands, I've only got sort of the first 3 nights organised in Kuala Lumpur, and then from there I just don't know at the moment. I'm trying to be really flexible in my approach because I learned through some quite severe hardships that life doesn't care that you have planned and you think it's all figured out. I think planning gives you the illusion of control over your life, whereas in Buddhism, we recognise, and this is something that's covered quite a lot by Pema Chodron, that a lot of suffering is the resistance to the groundlessness that is life. So I'm trying to be a bit more bend with the breeze, a bit more flexible in my approach, remembering one of my favourite sayings that I've ever heard, and this was from an old cowboy many years ago that I quote all the time and I think about quite often. Blessed are the flexible, for they never get bent out of shape. And I'm still very much working on that. But having only 3 days booked so far is very much out of my comfort zone. There's a limit. So I need to have a think about what I'm going to be doing from there. I'm going to be volunteering as much as possible for a place to stay and a place to eat. I've over budgeted deliberately just in case I don't enjoy doing that to the frequency that I've planned, or perhaps I have some negative experiences, or even just to get a bit fatigued of it and I need some time just on my own to recoup and stuff. So I've kind of prepared for the eventuality that I might just be paying for accommodation everywhere I go, just to have some kind of control over where I'm staying, who I'm staying with, and what I'm doing with my free time. And if that's the case, then that will shorten my trip. So I'm just gonna have to see how I get on. But you know, I'm not just volunteering because it's a free place to stay. I want to be doing it for the cultural exchange, to actually really get to know people who live in these countries, rather than risk getting stuck in the kind of micro culture of backpackers, where yeah, it's interesting that we're from different parts of the world and we're bringing different experiences and perspectives to this, but like it's nothing compared to actually staying with the people who this is their life, this is their culture, this is their traditions, and really getting immersed in that, and also contributing to their well-being and helping out where I can. And you know, so it's not so you know, I don't want to say self-indulgent, but I can't think of a better term right now, where, you know, I'm just going and I'm throwing money at the tourism industry and I'm not actually gaining anything beyond seeing some cool places and eating some cool stuff. Like, I want the experience, I want the stories, I want to meet people and really like be involved in communities where possible and where I'm welcome. So we'll have to see how that goes, and what kind of opportunities are available to me. At the moment, there's a few that I've seen that I'm interested in, but I haven't really made any sort of intentional steps towards organising it just yet, just because I haven't had time. I've been so busy the last month, travelling around the UK, making sure that I get quality time in with the people that I care about, and just kind of getting those memories and things to hold on to as like an anchor point, because I'm going off and doing this big scary thing and I'm going to be doing it on my own, and even though I tend to mix well with others and make friends everywhere I go, like there are going to be times I'm lonely. So having those sort of memories and experiences that I've been having recently of just really feeling like I've been cracked open and filled with love and care and you know, all of the good stuff from people that I'm very fortunate to call friends and family. It will provide a sort of an anchor point for me if I start losing my way out there. So yeah, I've just been too busy at the moment to kind of be organising those things, but I'd love to be doing things like you know, volunteering at Buddhist institutions and working with kids if I can, and like volunteering at dog sanctuaries. There's a place that I've seen on an island in East Malaysia that is coral conservation, so that'd be really cool if I could get involved in that. So yeah, there's lots of different stuff. I just want to kind of be open and receptive to as many different experiences as possible, knowing that it will be an enriching and often challenging experience, and it's coming up so quickly. I'm so excited. So next video I will be doing is showing you all of the kit and caboodle that I'm going to be carrying around on my back like a little snail as I go on my travels. So I'll see you there.